Cluster munitions, which Ukrainian troops utilized in the video, but have been used by Russia and Ukraine in the war. Ukraine has dealt another significant blow to Russia's armored vehicles in newly released thermal imaging footage showcasing the cluster attack. The video was shared on social media platform X by a veteran of the Ukrainian army and reportedly shows the 92nd Separate Assault Brigade taking out a series of Russian vehicles. He wrote, "A Russian assault towards positions of the 92nd Brigade was repelled thanks to the thermal vision drones. The aftermath of this assault was published before, but this video wasn't yet made public." You can see effective work of our artillery and cluster munitions. However, it wouldn't be possible with thermal vision drones that provided the picture. At second 15, you can see Russian armor exploding because of the sub-munition hit. The 30-second clip highlights 12 Russian targets said to be traveling near the city of Andriivka, before Ukrainian forces rained down a cluster munition strike, taking some of them out. It is not clear from the video exactly how many of the armored vehicles were destroyed, but footage shows a series of explosions after submunitions from cluster bombs hit the field. Andriivka is south of the city of Bakhmut, which has been wiped out since Russia took control in May 2023 as part of its offensive mission in the Donetsk region. Since its capture, Russian forces have been moving westward towards the settlement of Chasiv Yar. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, are often used by Ukrainian forces to execute strikes on Russian assets, particularly armored vehicles. Cluster munitions, which Ukrainian troops utilized in the video, are banned in more than 120 countries, but have been used by both Russia and Ukraine throughout the war. They are highly controversial, as they are a high risk to civilians and detonate long after they have been deployed. However, in July 2023, the US agreed to supply Ukraine with munitions used in this type of strike. There is a treaty countries can sign to prohibit using, producing, or stockpiling cluster munitions, but Ukraine, Russia, and the US have not signed it. Ukraine often publishes footage of its drones conducting strikes on Russian forces, including of Russian armored vehicles. Uncrewed aerial vehicles, UAVs, can guide strikes by Ukraine's artillery systems, including those firing cluster munitions, or explosive drones can directly approach a target while filming their journey. The US agreed to supply Ukraine with dual-purpose improved conventional munitions, DPISM, in July 2023. Cluster munitions are banned in more than 120 countries, as they can place civilians in harm's way and detonate long after they are deployed. The US, Ukraine, and Russia are not signed up to a treaty prohibiting the production, use, or stockpiling of cluster munitions. In mid-October 2023, Ukraine revealed it had received cluster variants of the US's ATACMS, or the Army Tactical Missile System, in a set of strikes on Russian military bases in Moscow-controlled Ukrainian territory. Kyiv attacked a Russian facility in the Zaporizhzhia city of Berdyansk and in Russian annexed Luhansk city, and said it had destroyed 9 Russian helicopters as well as a slew of other equipment. In the wake of the strikes, open-source intelligence reports later suggested that Ukraine may have damaged up to 21 Russian helicopters. Ukrainian forces and volunteer battalions have worked hard to defend their country against Russian aggression. During the first year of the war, the Ukrainians protected their capital. They forced the Russians out of central and northern Ukraine. The Ukrainians defended major cities such as Chernihiv and Sumy in the north and Kharkiv in the east. They protected Odessa in the south and they liberated Kherson from Russian occupation. Then, in 2023, Ukrainian forces reclaimed more than half of the Russian-occupied territory. They destroyed 2/3 of Russia's tank force. They also made significant progress on the Black Sea. To date, Ukraine has destroyed 25 Russian military vessels and ships and 1 submarine, accounting for 1/3 of Russia's Black Sea fleet. Finally, Ukrainians launched operations to disrupt Russian movements around Crimea. But progress is now in jeopardy. According to recent reports, Ukrainian forces are running out of ammunition. If the Ukrainians do not have sufficient equipment to defeat Russian forces, then Ukraine could risk losing more territory. There have already been worrying results. For example, Andriivka, a gateway to Donetsk, was captured by Russian forces. The fall of this city was attributed in part to the West's slow ability to sufficiently supply the Ukrainians.